Much better. King of the Nerds is a reality TV show that aired on TBS in 2013. Being inspired by the Revenge of the Nerd movies and hosted by two of the cast members, it pits nerds against one another to eventually have them reaching a cash prize of $100,000. It's like Survivor, but with more inhalers, with challenges granting immunity, a voting system putting two people against one another, and a showdown for elimination, and an awful lot of cringe. King of the Nerds has floated around the internet for over a decade at this point in a variety of different cringe compilations, and it is truly magic, some of the clips that this show has gifted to the world. It was a different time then. Big Bang Theory was still doing numbers and Geek was in, but anyone can tell you that if you want to make it as authentic as possible and get some really truly nerdy people involved in the show, it had no other choice than to be a completely unmitigated disaster. I've been a massive fan of this show for a pretty long time, mostly discovering it through cringe compilations. But if you'll join me, I'd love it if we could watch this show together and maybe nerd out a little. I'm sorry, this is the first video on this channel. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on.
Nerds have been harassed, teased, and left out. The rise of technology has brought with it the rise of the nerd. Not only is being a nerd suddenly cool, but now nerds run the world. 11 of the brainiest, gamingest, fantasy and science fiction lovingest nerds in the world landing here at Nerdvana.
So we start out with a brief introduction of what the game's going to be, and we get introduced to Nerdvana, which is basically just like a mansion they rented out with like a bunch of crap in it. All of this to be crowned the King of the Nerds and sit upon the throne of games.
Bring it.
Revenge. Deceit.
You can cut through the tension with a lightsaber.
People don't talk like that, man. Clearly there's some producer that's like, hey, nerd, talk like a nerd, you nerd.
Who will sit atop the throne of games and be crowned King of the Nerds?
So with that incredible introduction out of the way, it's finally time to meet some of the cast of King of the Nerds.
He has your taste in neckwear.
My name is Mujige. I graduated from high school at 16, and I got my PhD in mechanical engineering at 24. I'm a planetary protection engineer at NASA. Super nerdy.
My name's Ivan. I'm a developer and co-creator of role-playing games.
Yeah, they did Ivan a little bit dirty with that one. Yeah, don't worry, man. We'll edit the fireballs in post. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
Hey world, guess what? I'm a nerd, and that's awesome.
Welcome to Nerdvana. You are the most imaginative, inventive, devious, and intelligent nerds and geeks in the world.
Don't forget geek. You can't forget about the geeks. Don't forget about the geeks. Give me your fucking lunch money.
You're here to compete against each other for $100,000 and to be crowned King of the Nerds.
I would use the $100,000 prize for something fun, like investing in a good index fund.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. You honestly can't get more fun than investing in the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. I could go on for hours about how you should be investing 5 to 10% of your monthly income into index funds and how fun that is.
Each week, you'll compete team against team in a battle royale that we like to call the Nerd War. You will divide yourselves into 2 teams of 5 nerds each. However, as you've noticed, there are 11 of you, which means somebody doesn't get picked. What do you say, Curtis, that we pick the team captains? Let's do that, Robert. Right. First team captain is Genevieve.
I'm Genevieve. I'm a Batman fanatic. People tend to describe me as innocent, demure, and then they get to know me, and then they start describing me with words like Machiavellian or ruthless. Achtung, du bist ein Dummkopf und ich bin ein Schmartypants.
And the second team captain, Ivan.
All right.
And with both of them picked, both teams have 2 hours to go away, chat, and make themselves seem like good teammates to be picked later.
Then let the games begin!
That's right.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die. This way. I'm Brandon, and I'm a PhD graduate student in neuroscience. Whiteboard. Okay, this is awesome. There's a Radio Shack lab. Sweet. With the whiteboard, I need a whiteboard to survive. Where else are you gonna write stuff?
Honestly, Brandon got kind of let off easy. Everybody else has said something kind of incriminating, or like something that would maybe make you turn your head or raise an eyebrow, but he just likes whiteboards, man. Like, he's just like, yeah, I like whiteboards, so you like to write on them. We get introduced to John, who likes metal and has bright hair, and I'll say it first, he kind of looks like me.
My name is Hendrik. I study the mechanical behavior of rocks, ice, and mixtures thereof. I would love to be able to speak with birds.
I'm Joshua. One trait that I have that's gonna take me to the end here is really that I'm a jack of all trades. You walk into this house and just like so many cool things to see that you have to like kind of step out of that pretty quickly and just be like, hey, this first part of the competition is all about getting to know each other. I gotta get to work.
Josh is probably the most normal person so far that has appeared on the show. He doesn't really have any major skills compared to some of the other people, like neuroscience or being like a other scientist, but he has good people skills, which is probably like pretty important in this. So far, not exactly a high bar, but he's pretty normal. So with that, the group gets to sit down to finally discuss their skill sets and what they can bring to the table. This is Alana. She's very sweet, but if you are an empath, you are about to not have a good time with her. Now we finally get to meet Danielle, who I am actually kind of familiar with. She used to run a World of Warcraft channel that is, I think, inactive now, but it used to be called Trade Chat. Just a little piece of information that I have in my repertoire.
I'm Virgil. I'm a PhD student at Caltech. I am a disruptive technologist. A disruptive technologist is someone who takes like an existing thing and turns it into disarray and upheaval through technology.
Okay, so we can't really go any further without talking about Virgil and why he's in prison right now as we speak. So, interesting thing about this character. I was doing a little bit of research because I thought, you know, if this is like a fun series and we get our way through this, we can at the end do like a where are they now? And I've been like doing some research preliminarily. I've been doing some research on them preemptively, I suppose, which is a bit like ambitious, I suppose. But I'm curious because like it's been a long time since the show came out. I looked up Virgil. He was like one of the first people that I looked up, and I just want to like have a quick read over his Wikipedia article, which I promise you will not be boring, so please don't turn it off. So his name is Virgil Griffith, which if you're a Berserk fan should already be sending red flags to you currently. But yeah, he is an American programmer. He's worked extensively with like cryptocurrency and like the Ethereum blockchain, etc. He developed the Tor2 web proxy. Not really sure what that is. If I click on that, what is that? Yes, it's what I thought it was. It's like basically like hidden thing, like a dark web kind of dealio. Yeah, he has published papers on artificial life and integrated information theory. Right, he's a published programmer. Like he's clearly a very, very intelligent person. However, in 2019, he was arrested and pled guilty to conspiring to violate US laws relating to money laundering, using cryptocurrency, and helping North Korea evade sanctions. He is currently serving a 63-month prison sentence for helping North Korea. So I guess as we watch the rest of the show, and Virgil pops up, and maybe he tricks you. Maybe you think, oh, he's not a bad guy. Just remember, he's helping North Korea tax evade, probably.
I mean, in terms of like my credentials on paper, I mean, I'm aware I look very good on paper, but no one has seen me on paper.
People have seen you behind bars, bro. This ain't it, man. This is.
For the last 6 years, I have been a professional gamer in video games or speed cubing. My name's Celeste. I submerged myself into the video game world. I was very shy and very insecure. But once you put me in a competitive atmosphere, I am a complete bitch.
Celeste seems pretty normal. I obviously did some research on her as well. She runs she plays Apex Legends. She streams video games on Twitch still to this day. Yeah, not a tremendous amount to say about her apart from the fact that like I went on like her Instagram. The literally only thing I have of note is the fact that like I went on her Instagram reel, looked at how many posts, and there was more, to be clear. I haven't even seen this one before because they've been deleted over the course of the day. It's crazy, man. So much posting, dude. Oh well, she seems nice though, so it is what it is, man. I'm just miserable. Why am I not letting people be happy? I don't know. That's why I watch reality TV shows, I guess.
Nobody else in the house is a pro gamer, and being able to solve a Rubik's Cube, I think, is going to be a big deal. There's a lot of Rubik's Cubes around the house.
I'm really good at chess, Batman trivia, knowledge of different gods, like Norse and
yeah, I'm really good at gods and mythology. You know, like the god, like Jesus, like I guess like Jesus is like kind of also God.
And yeah, all those.
It is so messed up that the producers or like the people or the editors of this show left in such a horrible long pause in between her trying to remember the name of another god.
I really don't think either of the teams is gonna pick me.
So Alana is worried that she's not gonna get picked. And if I'm being honest, I get it. You're in a situation where you're surrounded by neuroscientists, people that like coming off of the back of internships at NASA, expert mathematicians, and your only kind of skills you can maybe bring to the table are knowing stuff about Batman, which another couple of people also have, and knowing about gods and stuff. It's not looking good.
For the rest of the people here, all I have is Batman and being super prepared. I'm gonna see myself go home today.
I feel really terrible though, man. She looks like really genuinely shaken up during her like one-on-one session with the camera crew. It's tough. Anyway, we're all nerds.
We're all nerds!
So Celeste now starts putting her hands in the pockets of the other team captains. She's trying to make herself look like a really good pick for both teams, and it seems like both are pretty excited to have a pro gamer on their team. And before you know it, time is up, and it's time to pick who's going to be on both teams.
Calling all nerds! It is now time for you to pick the first of your teammates. But before we do that, we have to figure out a way to tell your two teams apart.
Why do this? Just like give them a shirt or an armband or like a necklace or something. Ivan looks like he's about to dive into like a bout of PTSD-induced rage.
Make your pick.
Choose wisely, Genevieve.
Honestly, I don't have a worry on my mind. I know that I'm going to get picked. I am the best nerd here.
Okay, no disrespect. There is no universe where Josh is the best nerd here. No way. 0% chance. We all know it. Just thought I'd say it. So now the captains are picking their teams. Celeste gets picked, of course. Moog gets picked. Hendrik gets picked.
Celeste picked me by dumping a mixture of what must have been cornstarch and water and food dye over my head, signifying that I was to join the team.
Josh gets picked.
So Hendrik, what is your strategy?
I'm looking for good company.
Huh? John gets picked.
Maybe they're just saving the best for last.
Nice.
Yes.
Brandon gets picked, which is cool. He's nice. I like him. But now we're finally down to 3 people left, and our favorite felon is finally taken by the blue team.
When John chose Virgil, I was jaw open shocked.
Yay.
Stupid, it should have been me.
I don't think it's that surprising. He's obviously very intelligent, and they already have a pro gamer on their team. They don't need another one. So Alana is left as the odd one out, and this show is already so mean about it. Ever since Alana got here, they've just made her look and feel so terrible.
This right now is not fun. I've been losing all of my life. That's why I'm a nerd, okay?
Alana, you have not been picked by either team. I mean, there is nothing nerdier than not getting picked.
Yeah, how do you feel, loser? How bad do you feel right now? Oh my god.
Which means you have all the power.
What? A big wrench in the system.
You are now safe from banishment.
I like to think it was pretty obvious that nobody was gonna go home here. They didn't fly out like 11 people to like Pasadena, California, where this was filmed, just to be like, okay, you've been here for 2 hours. It's time to go. I guess maybe some game shows do that, but...
You will get to choose the winner of the Nerd War. Whomever you pick as the stronger team will be the winner and safe from banishment. 2 members of the losing team will be sent to the Nerd Off.
I'm just realizing that they have been blurring her arm this entire time. Dude, like every shot, I didn't realize every shot of her has her arm blurred out, which either, wait, okay, I probably need to take bets on this one. I'd be willing to bet. There's 2 choices, right? There's 2 options. One is that it's not safe for work. Like she has like a pinup model or something tattooed on her arm, which is pretty common. It's not unsurprising. It's probably fine for the most part in the workplace, depending on how bad it is. Or, alternatively, which I think is the correct answer, tattoo of an intellectual property that TBS were not willing to pay money to have on the show. Hold on. Let me see really quickly which one that is. Okay, I found it. It's Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn in front of the bat signal. That makes a lot. Yeah, that is the correct answer. I was right. Okay.
Seems the worm has turned.
The worm has turned. So Alana now gets to pick which team wins. And honestly, that little bit of kindness that Danielle showed her after she was left last seems to have worked. Alana picks the orange team to win and immediately gets put on the blue team.
I really do feel like part of the reason she picked our team was because I turned around and hugged her. That worked.
That worked? Never mind. She planned it. She's evil.
Locktar, oh god! It means victory or death in Orcish.
I am completely cool with being on the losing team.
What do you mean? They lost because you chose them to lose. You did that, like, you did... You did this to yourself. You picked them to lose. It's not like they're a bad team. They didn't really lose.
We have a beautiful fountain down there. Yeah! Go on down and wash it off.
This is weird, right? Let's cover these people in goo and then throw them into a dirty public, possibly public fountain to like wash and splash around. And so now all the teams have been picked and orange team have beaten the blue team somehow. Orange now have to vote in a member of the blue team to go into the Nerd Off, and blue has to vote in one of their own. Hendrik has the genius idea of voting for himself for some reason because he wants to win a challenge at least once during the course of the show. Possibly cementing the idea that you can work for NASA, you can be a PhD, like student, graduate, you could be a doctor, technically, and also be stupid. He becomes the lightning rod for votes on his team and is of course put into the Nerd Off at the end. I don't think he understands, even if you get to the final without ever having been voted into an elimination round, you have to win that. So you're technically winning a challenge. Just win, bro. It's 100 grand. What are you doing? The orange team during this time consider possibly putting in Celeste, but eventually they move forward with putting John into the elimination bracket because they think he's a really smart guy, great mathematician, and whilst, you know, they wanted to get rid of the pro gamer, they decided to leave it for now, but will that come back to bite them?
By unanimous consent, Hendrik, you will be going to the Nerd Off. By unanimous consent, John, you're going to the Nerd Off.
Really? You ask. more about why they chose John, please?
All right.
All right, Virgil. Let's settle down here, Jailbird. All right. So the game of choice for this nerd off is chess. Each player gets to pick an advisor who may or may not have any chess experience, and then they battle it out on a giant chessboard. But there's a twist.
Welcome to the Nerd Off, the ancient game of chess.
Makes chess a fun thing to watch. Stripper cat girl who's of a Harajuku flavor or something? This
Oh man, stop talking, bro. Stop talking, man. Please stop talking, dude. Stop talking, man. I was backing you, man. I was backing you, dude.
The light in the background died. So I kind of want to just like talk about chess for a second, because this challenge is so hilariously one-sided if any of these people actually happen to be able to play chess. Chess is a game that people play their entire lives and are not good at. So giving them 3 hours to learn to play chess or to strategize is about as good as giving them 15 seconds, as far as I'm really led to believe, as far as chess is concerned. Everything from studying openings to playing the rest of chess that doesn't involve the first 3 moves of the game. So it's John and Virgil versus Hendrik and Alana, and we go through the game, moving pieces, destroying pieces with a guy who's dressed as a Greek Spartan for some reason. And I sent this image of the board state to anybody that I could possibly think of that had any knowledge about chess, and after trying to explain to them what was going on and that this was a 2013 reality TV show, basically the understanding was that Black was kind of underdeveloped. They hadn't really defended their king necessarily all that well. Plenty of opportunity for White to win. So, of course, White loses. John eventually puts Hendrik into checkmate and eliminates him from the competition. So here's where I'm confused. After the whole chess debacle, here's where I'm confused. Why does this format exist? Obviously, I understand what they were trying to do here with asking people if they don't necessarily play chess to have someone to help them play chess, but you're asking your fellow competitors to help you out of the goodness of your heart. Any one of these people could have been picked as an advisor and then just say, no, I don't want to help you, even if they're the Grand Master or International Master level that chess players can get to. Alana, if she was any good at chess, could probably play the game in such a way that it looks like she's putting up a good fight, but actually throws the game because she thinks that Hendrik is a bigger threat than John. But also, when I rewatched this in the editing part of this video, one of the things that Alana mentions that she's actually good at is chess. Except, that's not what she says. You can hear, if you listen to the audio, let me play the audio for you.
I'm really good at chess.
If you listen to the audio, it very clearly sounds like a redubbing of something else that she said. Maybe she just said chess in a weird way. They asked her to go into a booth and say the word chess again, but it is not real, I think. So is she good at chess? I mean, she said she was good in high school, but would she mention that when they're all having a sit down talking about it if she hasn't played chess in like 15 years? It's extremely strange, and I would ask more questions if it wasn't for the fact that Hendrik like voted himself in to begin with. And I guess you reap what you sow, so
John, you have won this Nerd Off. You live to fight another day.
Congratulations.
We shall play again sometime. I don't think I let him down, because we lost a game, but we put up a really good fight. I think that Hendrik learned a lot about chess today.
Hendrik, I'm sorry. You've lost this nerd off.
I thought Alana would be a fairly capable advisor. Whoops.
Do I get my head cracked open with a mace?
actually that is an axe, Hendrik, but very close. It's more like a landis or a great axe. Fine dwarven technology, fine dwarven engineering. And with that, Hendrik packs his bags and walks off into the sunset.
If the universe is infinite, that means that other versions of ourselves are out there in some other world. You and I and everyone else on this planet has already won King of the Nerds.
But in this reality, you voted yourself in for no reason, cost yourself possibly 100 grand. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to kill you. And that's the end of episode 1 of season 1 King of the Nerds. It's been quite a journey. I didn't think this would take as much effort to edit as it did. Regardless, this is a new channel, a new format, an entirely new world for me. I'm, for the most part, always just been like a video game guy on this platform. I've been making videos for a very, very long time, and I don't expect this video to get any more than like 10 to 100 views, maybe, and I'll be honest, most of them are going to be me. But if you're feeling generous, maybe you could give this video a like, maybe you could subscribe to the channel if you feel merciful. You can also check out shopsycho.com, which is my clothing store where I sell cool things. I have not gotten better at doing outros, I'll tell you that much for free. If you want to see more, let me know. Also, I think there's a thing with YouTube. If I see click the like button, I think it lights up underneath. If it doesn't light up, then that's extremely disappointing. But also, it might be because I have a Scottish accent, so it might not understand me in the subtitles. Anyway, take care. I'll see you all next time. Maybe.